So on the show, we've talked several different times about the idea that it's really crazy to have an election in November and give the prior administration, knowing that they are out the door, 2.5, really, full months to just do whatever they'd like, cover their tracks, burn, shred documents, whatever they'd like to do. They know that they have enough time to get things done. And so we're talking about why do we do that? That seems like a messed up system. That seems like a system where you're just asking for people to try to cover things up. And so you had yesterday a senior official at USAID sent an email to nearly 36 employees that said, "Good afternoon. Thank you for your assistance in clearing our classified safes and personnel documents from the RRB. The event will take place all day tomorrow, March 11th, beginning at 9:30 a.m. Please meet at RRB." Okay. And then it talks about, where to go. And it says, shred as many documents as possible first. Reserve the burn bags for when the shredder becomes unavailable or needs a break. If you need to use the burn bags, do not overfill, and ensure the burn bag can be closed with staples at the top. And then it goes on to talk about, the burn bags, the labeling that's required on the burn bags. If you need additional burn bags or Sharpie markers, because I guess there's a lot of writing and burning that they're planning on doing. You may need additional Sharpie markers. Please let me or the SEC InfoSec team know. Thank you so much, Erica Carr, acting executive secretary. And so I just, we can talk about, let's talk about who this person is. Joe Biden personally named Erica Carr acting executive secretary of USAID in his first week of office. She also worked with Obama. She worked with Obama at USAID in June 2009 with him, and also served as special agent in the Office of Personnel Management from 2007 until 2009 under Obama as well. And so you have these people that I think that it's important to point out. There is great work that has been done, but there is also much more work to be done. When you're not talking about just the heads of these agencies that are the deep state. We're not just talking about an RFK Jr. or a Tulsi Gabbard or a Kash Patel. We're talking about at every single level of all of these agencies, there are these appointees that are still there. The acting executive secretary of the USAID is still an Obama Biden girl. There's a lot more work that needs to be done, and we need to do it quick. So, we can talk about whether or not was this treason? Was this all on the up and up? I don't know. But the fact remains that if we have acting executive secretaries that are leftovers from Obama and Biden, we've still got a lot of house cleaning to be done here.
Tons.
Yeah.
But that's the root issue of the bureaucratic administrative state. People call it the deep state. And that's why I think what Elon Musk is doing is so important, in that we need to reduce the impact of these bureaucrats that have been up there so long. And again, speaking of, ticks, that's what they have become. And they see their world being upset. In the military is real simple. The guy comes in for the change of command, and, you get on board with his policies. If not, you're gone. So I think that what we need to do, because we're no longer at that level in politics in America, where people still, they want what's best for the country. Republican, Democrat, whatever. And there was some congeniality, I guess you could put it that way. You probably need to have a transition team that can immediately go into some of these agencies and start, I hate to say it, but keeping an eye on some of these people in that 2.5 months. Because you think about Joe Biden, all of a sudden he's saying, yeah, go ahead and shoot ATACMS missiles.
Yeah, exactly.
Into Russia. Oh, here's a 5-year contract where federal government employees don't have to come into work.
Yep.
They should not have any more of these major political decisions, foreign policy decisions they can be making.
And to your point, I'll add one more. It was in that 11th hour that he decided that he wanted to change the CBP One app, which is now CBP Home. Go home. We don't want you here. To change the CBP One app that you didn't even have to check in with a person. You could just on your phone, you're like, boop, I am who I say I am. I'm checked in. I'm here. Don't worry about it. And he changed that at the 11th hour too, just to add insult to injury to make us less safe. So it really is dangerous having these people still, in charge of things and in the building and burning and shredding documents as well.
It's like USAID, their official statement on what their purpose is very benign. It's just to help spread, American, soft power across the world. Well, if that truly is the case, then why are you doing a late night burn session on secret documents? What are you worried that, and keep in mind who they're afraid of right now. They're afraid of the current president's administration finding this stuff out. Yep. They're hiding it from him, which is absolutely criminal. Yep. Absolutely criminal. Their whole purpose for an organization like USAID now, I don't think it was originally designed to do what it is doing now. But
you don't think it was designed to promote drag shows in Peru?
Exactly.
What you're saying?
Or force.
You have the audacity to say that, Jason?
The audacity. I'm clutching my imaginary pearls, right? Or forced sterilization projects in South America, which is exactly one of the things they worked on. Yep. Woodrow Wilson and the Progressives built a system during the Progressive era, specifically designed to what's happening right now with the bureaucratic or deep state. Now, what pissed them off was this thing called the U.S. Constitution. It severely limited how they could fundamentally transform, to use the words of another, progressive of the modern era, Barack Obama, fundamentally transform this country. Now, they knew they could not do it because of the U.S. Constitution. So they created the bureaucratic state to go around the Constitution, to do things amongst themselves, unelected bureaucrats. We didn't elect them there, but they're doing their own thing regardless. That is what USAID became. It's a part of that bureaucratic system to specifically illegally go around the Constitution and do whatever the hell they want. So they operate like a quasi-CIA or whatever else they thought was, they thought that they had the mandate to do at the time. Right. If you look at some of the documents of some of the craziest stuff going on around the world, you'll see USAID money in every single one, usually partnered with a major progressive organization like George Soros. Yes. Every single time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, and to your point, I mean, we do look, there's good news in this. We have Secretary of State Marco Rubio, who has impressed me more than I thought he would. I was not sure how I felt about it. And so far, I mean, again, it's been like 50 days, so there's a lot of time to go. But I feel like he's been pretty solid thus far. And so he just recently announced that after a 6-week review, they are officially canceling 83% of the programs at USAID. The 5,200 contracts that are now canceled spent tens of billions of dollars in ways that did not serve, and in some cases even harmed the core national interests of the United States, which I think is very key to all of this, because you had President Trump saying, halt all this money, and you have these activist judges who are coming out and saying, no, you need to release the money to all of these foreign countries. I, this activist judge, have the right to tell you, the literal commander-in-chief, the top officer in the executive branch, that you may not have control over this, which is bonkers crazy to me.
It is.
I could not believe when I saw that. So now at least, well, I mean, I guess we'll wait for the lawsuit, but I'm fairly certain the Secretary of State has the ability to cancel the damn contracts.
It was crazy when that judge wrote that. There was not even a published decision on it. Yeah. It was just because I say so.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
Yeah. What happened to interpreting the law? It's very simple. The first sentence in Article 2 of the United States Constitution says, executive power shall be vested in the President of the United States of America. So he's in charge of the executive branch. And the thing that people aren't saying, he's not going up on Capitol Hill and saying what needs to happen with the legislative branch. He's not going over there to the Supreme Court and saying this is what you need to do. No, he's saying, I am the chief executive and this is how this executive branch will run. But, it's not just these activist judges and these district judges. Amy Coney Barrett and John Roberts joined with the loons. 5-4 decision to prevent him from being able. So again, who are these people? I mean, does she not believe that the chief executive has executive power vested in him as the president of the United States of America? That's what they're supposed to do, interpret the Constitution. Justice Alito wrote an incredible dissenting piece on that. So, we've got some folks that, Donald Trump appointed her
I know.
to that position.
And she's been a disappointment.
big time city limits.
Yeah, I totally agree. I also, sometimes I like to extrapolate. Okay, let's pretend this is the private sector, right? Like let's say if we're using the same logic here, you're telling me that a CEO of a company doesn't have the ability to cancel a contract. Someone would look at me like I was crazy, right? The head honcho of a company can't go and say, no, stop sending this money to this place, to this, designated place. Like, that's crazy to think. And now somehow we have this system where they're like, no, you can't make those top level decisions. Like, what? If you like this clip and you want to see the full episode, click here. And if you want to subscribe to the channel, come on, you do. Click here.